All right. Our second live. Try and make this a regular Saturday thing. Give everybody a few seconds to sort out their lives. I realize it's a bit early on a Sunday morning, 9:02. Dealing with some couple technical issues. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's traveling to AHR. I wish I could be there. I absolutely wish I could be there, but that whole international border thing is a bit trepidatious at the moment, no matter what you do. So I'm home. I'm stuck at home until the governments of the world pull their heads out of their butts. That's just how that goes. And so if you missed the last one, we did it with, it was totally unscripted and unplanned. I came on here to rant about losing my account. And Turbo jumped in and we went for an hour. As everybody that follows Turbos knows, like he can rant for months and months and months. So I don't know how long this one's gonna go. I got Isaiah, Peter, and Brooke. Looks like Pete's ready to go. Isaiah, it's funny, I have to be the technical guru. Isaiah was on his way out to the barn to shoot the live. I'm like, dude, you don't have to come out to the barn. Just do it from home. Oh! So, he might be a bit late. Let me just see if we can bring in Pete. One.
Oh, there's Pete.
What's up?
Did I get Brooke? Oh, here comes Brooke. Oh, Ibid technology, amazing.
Can you hear us well?
I can hear you.
Okay, just checking.
What's you got a fan going on in your background there, Brooke?
Yes.
Shut it off. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's Isaiah.
I think it was because you have to be your man, I think.
Oh, and there's Isaiah. So for anybody that doesn't know, these are my kids. Isaiah's down in the bottom. I don't know how it shows up on your screen, but Isaiah's there. Pete's at the top. Wave Pete. And then there's Brooke. My gorgeous daughter, Brooke. And so we are going to talk about plumbing, the joy of being plumbers, the joy of being a plumber family, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. So, Isaiah, tell everybody watching. We're going to post this on YouTube too, so hopefully it gains some traction here. Echoing. Why is it echoing? I'm going to take my is it echoing for you guys?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not for me.
Maybe it's me. I'll get some headphones. Can I mute myself?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back. Oh.
The walls open there.
We're new at this. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah. It doesn't appear to be echoing on my end anymore, so was it Peter?
It's probably Peter.
Okay.
We don't have your gamer headphones on, man.
Because it's through my phone. So So I got
Anyway.
my Bluetooth headset.
Oh, that's better. It was totally Peter's fault.
Nice.
That's nothing new, is it, Pete?
Nope. It's always my fault.
That's the joyous family right there. We call everybody up. Okay, Isaiah, tell us why you are a plumber. Why did you become a plumber? What's your plumbing journey in 4 minutes or less?
Do you want my honest answer, or do you want?
No, that's what this is. This is raw and real, man. We want the honest answers.
Yeah, honestly, I got into plumbing because my dad was in it. I went to a couple of take your kid to work days, and it was honestly just the easiest option. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. I had no idea where I was gonna be. In my family, we're all Mormons, so I didn't go on my mission. So I was just kind of floating, and Dad gave me the opportunity to come to and work with him and see what that life was all about. So was
it really an opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
it was pretty much coercion, right? Like you can't stay at home, so you're coming to work with me.
It was a little bit harsher than an opportunity, but an opportunity nonetheless. So ended up doing it and ended up liking it. So went off to school and did my 4 years. Got lucky that I got to finish before all the COVID craziness happened. So thankful for that. But yeah, that's about it. Met some weird people in my classes, but all good. And yeah, here I am now.
Everyone will fully admit that there are weird plumbers out there, man. There are some weird ass plumbers. There's who was saying that? Royal Plumbing? Yes, he absolutely got hustled to join. He was I'm gonna say 17, 18 to just graduated high school, and decided that he was gonna mow lawns for a living. And then him and his best friend showed up at my house and decided that they were going to start a dog walking business. And they were going to make so much money walking dogs. And I'm like, that's not happening. So you're coming to work for me. You're going to learn something real. If you don't like it, then find something else. And to Isaiah's credit, he's very good at it. It's obviously in his blood. He's been able to diagnose and troubleshoot lots of things with minimal to almost no supervision now. So you can see his big smile there. We don't really throw around the compliments all that much. It's a Baker family plumbing business. Occasionally we do, yes. So Isaiah's doing great, and the deal is, and I'll say it to anybody that'll listen. Once we paid for everything to get him through school, he now owes me 5 years of indentured servitude, which is how the plumbing trade started. You are an indentured servant until your time served, and then you become your own man. So he is. Are you 1 year in yet? The 1 year? No. 1 year. Yeah, like 1 year and a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 years left.
Nice. And
then he can do whatever the hell he wants. Okay, Pete. Tell us your story. What's your story?
Well, it's kind of a lot similar to Isaiah's. I first started plumbing, I guess, when I was in my teen years, 16 or 17, when I went to take a kid to work day. And I remember I had other plans. I wanted to go to school to be a cop, be a criminal investigative agent. That was my plan back then. And when I first started working for Dad, I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was hard work. I didn't know what I was doing. I got yelled at a lot. I was always being told what to do because I didn't really understand all the stuff that we were working on. So I did that with my dad for a while, and then I got enrolled in the RAP program just to do it, spend my time wisely, I guess. And then when I was 19, I left and served a mission for my church and did that for 19 months. And then when I got back, I there was nothing really else to do. I couldn't go to school because everything was shut down. And so I started working for my dad pretty consistently. And I guess I should say also before my mission, I went to SAIT for a year, took a year of plumbing school. And like Isaiah, I also met a lot of weird characters there, as there is a lot of old men that were changing careers and deciding to become a plumber.
Isn't that crazy?
50. Yeah.
Like, that's the crazy part of it. Like, people think that it's like a bit of a, you know, that we're exaggerating, that there's no one going into the trade. But there are no young people, like very few young people. When Isaiah went and Peter went to school, like they were by far the youngest. And I mean, there might have been a couple, you know, three or maybe a handful that were 3 or 4 years older. And then there's dudes my age that were whatever they were before that and decided that they needed to get their ticket. So once they get their ticket, they got like what? 5, 6, maybe a decade left in their of working before they're done. So you're young. Young. If you want to get into this thing, I've told the boys forever, if there's money to be made and opportunity to be had. Sorry, Pete. Will you continue?
No, that's right. I got more stuff to say. I guess. It's funny, yeah. I was like, I'm sure it was the same for Isaiah, but I was the youngest by like 10 years in my class because everybody was. Anyway, there's a lot of people changing, having midlife crisis, and settling on plumbing. Anyway, so that's what I did before my mission, and I started to enjoy it because as I was working with my dad, I started to be able to understand certain things. To a degree, I still had a lot of learning to do, but I was able to, you know, do certain things by myself and be engaged with the customer and be able to, I guess, be the superhero that is service plumbers, saving the day, all that good stuff, and I started to enjoy it. And that happened more as I worked throughout COVID. And I'm currently in my second year. I still have a long way to go. I'm not able to go to school at the moment with the craziness that is the world right now. So I'm just kind of working and living my best life and doing what I can to help the business. And I'm loving it. Like, I think it's great working with my brother and my dad. As people are probably aware, working as a family is an interesting dynamic, having, I guess, work come home with you every single day, but it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it, and I plan to pursue it to its fullest measure, I guess. So that's my story. I'm excited.
Somebody asked where you went on your mission, Pete.
I went to the Philippines, and I spoke Tagalog.
Give us a greeting in Filipino.
Oh, man. Magandang umaga. Ako po si Peter. Masaya ko na makita kayong lahat dito.
I don't think we have any Filipinos. I keep trying to convince them that we need to take over like the Filipino. There are a lot of Filipino immigrants in Calgary, and they're fantastic people. And I tell them that we need to somehow corner that market because he's the only dude that was. He can, like you just saw, whatever the hell he just said. It sounds like
nobody knows.
Sounds like
6 sentences.
Gibberish, but it's right there. He's Filipino.
Oh yeah, so he's Filipino.
I can't even talk it. That was awesome.
Yeah,
so
funny.
you say you can speak better Filipino than the Filipinos?
Yes, some Filipinos.
Well,
is Kevin Guizi? Is he Filipino? Guizi?
Yeah, Guizi.
Good morning, I'm Peter. Something. Yeah. Yeah. You got the first bit.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know he's Filipino.
That's awesome. All right, now to young Brooke. What's your story, Brooke? Give us the whole thing.
The whole thing. Well, like my two brothers, I went to take a kid to work day with my dad. All I remember
Get to work day is like life changing. Let me just jump in there, Brooke. So all you guys that have little tiny toddlers and stuff, or little tiny kids, you got to take your kids and take your kid to work day. It'll change their life. For better or for worse, you decide. Yeah. Sorry, Brooke.
But yeah, all I did was unclog a sink and unscrew something in the ceiling. That's all I did, and then I went to play volleyball.
That's not
So
true. What are you talking about? I have
that's all
pictures.
I remember.
You replaced the furnace blower. Remember? In that dude's
Nope.
house? I have
Nope.
pictures. And
Yeah,
you
ugly
also
walls.
unclogged that sink with the clog boss.
I know, you
And
made
that
me smile.
I made you smile for that one. You weren't happy about that one.
It was
Yeah.
so bad.
So she did a couple calls. Apparently it wasn't as influential as she said.
Mind-boggling is.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Then what?
But I started to get into the trade right as COVID started, so I haven't gone to school yet, but I have gone on a couple calls. I went with both of my brothers to do some work up north, and that was great. I cut some pipe because I'm the rookie and I get to do all the fun jobs. I I also don't have the right equipment to do plumbing at the moment because I haven't gone to school, so I burned my foot also up there. That was great, so I went.
I remember that.
But yeah, I'm waiting to get into school while this COVID-ness is going on, so we're gonna see where that goes.
Yeah. Well, tell them what you did last. What were you doing last fall? Let's say, just before Christmas. Give them your little story.
For Christmas, I was playing basketball for state. We had a couple games. It was super fun. I missed playing while the first year COVID went by when we weren't able to play at all. So that was like super exciting to do. I was taking business. Don't take business. It's super boring. It's literally the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. Oh my goodness. All we did was a bunch of like Excel sheets and Word documents and give presentations. It was super dumb. Not interesting at all. But yeah, that was cool.
And how did your basketball career go?
Yeah, didn't you
It was
break some
boring.
records?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I did. I was the leading scorer in Alberta. In the
Or,
province, I don't know
yeah.
how it was nationwide. I didn't really check, but it was pretty cool. Being the college leader in points, minutes, and free throw percentage. That was pretty dope. I was doing super well, which is unfortunate that COVID was had to bring that to an end. But yeah.
Omicron. Omicron has
yeah.
devastated.
Yeah.
My bad.
Devastated everything.
Next one's Megatron variant.
Yeah. You can't say COVID on here, man. We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah,
Right. We're
My
all
bad.
gonna get removed.
Yeah, or I'm gonna get blocked again. Crazy. Okay, so give me everybody. I'll start with Isaiah because he'll have more. But what's your best and your worst plumbing story, Isaiah?
Oh.
What job did you do that you thought you were just like, yes, I've made it? And then what job did you actually either freak you out or was just awful from beginning to end?
My favorite job is probably troubleshooting and honestly just flushing those Navians because it's the easiest and it makes you look the best. Because you come in there with your 4 tools and everyone is super impressed that you work on boilers with 6 tiny things. And I mean, it's not hard to impress people who have no idea what they're looking at. But my worst ever plumbing call was the one at one of our restaurants in Chinook Mall. It was the day we got the 5208 from Rigid. I was sitting at a mop sink for probably 6 hours trying to unclog it, and ended up spending 8 hours, like an entire day, in front of that mop sink, hunched over. I'm trying to got it eventually, and it was a rag that someone had decided to shove down their 2-inch line, but that was my worst. That was the worst one, just because of how long it took.
Yeah, it was a bad one. So we had a drum machine that Isaiah was working for that period of time, and it didn't have the muscle to push through. It was way out there. I think we were at 80 feet or so.
Yeah, it was at very
And if you know anything about those drum machines, they're super powerful within the first 20 to 30 feet, but after that they start to lose their jam. And so yeah, that's the day that I went and bought the rigid 5208, and yeah, it how long did it take you once you got that section?
I don't know, like 45 minutes, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time to string the line out.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic, and it's been a fantastic piece of our arsenal ever since. So, those are good ones. Okay, Pete, how about you?
I have one that comes to mind for bad. There's no really, I guess, specific one that comes to mind for good, because there's a lot of jobs that I guess
they're all bad.
not all of them are bad, but the good ones are they happen a lot, but it's usually something like small, I guess, like a plug drain, or we're installing a new hot water tank or a boiler or something like that. And they're like that stuff like goes well, but it doesn't really stick out because it's nothing like it's kind of routine, well. I guess. Yeah, it goes well, so it doesn't really stick out. But yeah, I guess I should say one of the best things about plumbing, and I guess one of the best things that I enjoy about plumbing is fixing somebody's issue and saving the day, I guess. Like I said earlier, being the superhero, I suppose. Yeah. Whether that's a backed up restaurant or no hot water, or and I should admit, the no hot water calls, the few that I've been to, there's been many phone calls with Bob and figuring it out. But still, figuring out somebody's issue that they don't know how to fix is really special. But I guess a bad story that happened to me, it was again at one of our restaurants, and it was a clogged drain. And it was the one just downtown. I guess I shouldn't say the name of the customer, but you guys will know it. It's in their mechanical room. They have a clean out up in the ceiling area in their basement mechanical room that serves their bottle room. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So I was up there with the rigid Super V, and this was probably when I was 18 or whatever, and I had already been up in the bottle room for a couple hours with the 5208 trying to get it, but I couldn't get it because the pipe had actually, I guess, beveled itself, and so it was plugged. And I went up there with the Super V, and I was up in the ceiling space, kind of balancing myself on some pipes and whatever I probably should have been standing on, and I had the Super V right by my face. And when I first pulled the trigger, it pulled so hard that I smacked myself right in the top of the head and left a big red mark. Anyway, so that happened. And then later on in the job, when I actually got it unplugged, I could hear the water rushing from all the way down the pipe once I got it unplugged, and it just fountained out of the clean out right into my face and got stuff everywhere. It was disgusting. It covered the room. It covered me. Anyway, I'm sure I could find some pictures, but it was really gross, and it was awful, and I stunk. But I got it unplugged.
That's the initiation, right? That's when you finally crossed over into the trade. And if you can come home from that day and not want to quit, then you got the mustard to be a plumber. And that's what Peter just described is exactly how the apprenticeship works. You work with someone close for a while, and then you work in the same location for a while where they can come and consult about what they're doing, and then sort of the next step is the phone calls and then the odd text, and then you're sort of off on your own doing your own thing and being able to troubleshoot that stuff all by yourself. George of the Jungle thinks you did a great job, Pete.
I saw that. Thanks, George.
All right, Brooke. Best and worst.
I think they were in the same call that I went to with Isaiah and Peter. The best part, I would say, would be driving that, I don't know what it's called, the little lift thing that lifted you to the ceiling. That was fun. And then when Isaiah taught me how to solder pipe until I burned my foot, that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. And The worst part was cutting the pipe. That sucked. My
Yeah,
like
you could
hand
barely do
felt raw after
it.
because it took me so long to slice the pipe in whatever half. It was
Yep.
stupid.
In her defense,
It wasn't meant to
cutting
because I had
pipe out of copper.
as much experience as all you guys.
What's that, Isaiah?
What were you cutting?
Pipe. I don't know, some copper pipe.
Copper. What type? What
What
type?
type?
Yeah.
L.
Isaiah, L. Yeah.
It was just copper
Almost.
pipe, and I had to latch the stupid thing on and twist it like 50 times for it to slice.
Yeah, Brooklyn doesn't
Yep.
have the developed grip
The
strength
worst.
to hold it
Muscles,
and
no.
twist it at the same
I
time.
have no muscles to see my arms.
Poor Brooke,
Okay, well,
your mean brothers.
that's fantastic. So you tell me what you guys think about the convoy.
Ooh.
We're
Who wants to start?
Let's go! I
Yeah,
support.
it's awesome. It's great to see people from all walks of life come together in support of each other. Like, all I've seen is nothing but positivity coming from that group, and the people on the way, on the overpasses, everyone just, coming together. It's awesome. It's about time, honestly.
It is about
It's
time.
about damn time.
I'm driving around the country out here. There's tractors and signs and flags up everywhere, and it's fantastic. I think it's a movement that has been a long time coming. Like, what is this? What have these things done to you personally? Like, have they affected your well-being?
Like
The convoy, you mean?
or the
No. Like the
Rona.
restrictions. The
Oh,
Rona.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. It's affected everybody, I feel like. Even the people
Can't
who
go to
are
school.
down with it. You know what I mean? Can't go to school, can't work properly.
Can't
You know,
go
you
into
can't play
restaurants,
basketball.
can't go into bowling alleys
Yeah.
without
Yeah, exactly.
certain
I
paperwork.
haven't gone out to eat in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And
Yeah.
state just canceled all their home games. The Calgary Board of Education just canceled all of the youth basketball. It's bananas. So what do you think? I mean, I've said it before. I'm the old man. Nobody cares what I think. What is your? I mean, the politicians will tell everybody that they're doing this for you guys,
Yeah.
not for me. They don't care about me.
Job.
Yeah, they are.
And so, what do you do about that? I mean, it's one thing to sit here and bitch about it. What do we do about it? Is there anything to be done about it?
I went to the rally yesterday with some friends, and there was a ton of people there. Like, the person who was organizing it thinks there was about 4,000 or 5,000 people marching, which wasn't as much as last fall or whatever. They had like 10,000 people there, but some people were talking to the cops, and the cops were like, "Yeah, we think there's like 600 or so people here." And so, like, they have such a misconstrued view of how many people are actually against it. You know what I mean? And I feel like they do that on purpose to make you feel alone. Like, we went to a restaurant afterwards, after the rally. We went to, I would say, about a restaurant just off McLeod Trail with my buddies after we had, marched in the rally. And we're like, we told the lady at the front, we don't have QR codes, but we still want to eat here and support your business. And the lady's like, "Okay, I'm with you. Let me go talk to my manager." She went to go talk to her manager, brought her out, and we explained the situation. We said we don't have vaccine passports. We're not going to wear a mask. But we want to eat here and support your business. And she said, "You know what? Okay, that's fine. We'll sit you." And they sat us down, and they didn't ask for anything from us. And I feel like that's, if people just start saying no and expressing their views out to other people and stop being so scared about it, then I feel like things will change. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the majority of us are on the same page with this, but the media and the politicians make it seem the other way around. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
We just need to express our opinions and be honest about it.
Yeah. It has to be and always should be about your ability to make choices. Whether you're for the V or not, it really makes no difference. Please, if you want to get it, by all means get it. The line in the sand and the line that we have to chisel out is when I tell you to do something and you have no choice. I mean, you guys have your, like you say, we've made some allusions to it. I got some questions coming in here. Working for me is a bit of a theocracy, right? Like I say what happens and you guys go off and do it. But that doesn't, and we've had, intense discussions about how I think things should be done after the fact. But that doesn't negate your ability in those moments to make those decisions, does it? Like you still are like, and I said it to you before, like I just said, we had that problem freaking 2 days ago. I'm like, you got to explain to me why you did that. And if it makes sense, then I'll side with you. But if it doesn't make sense, and you're going back on your own accord, on your own dime, you're fixing it. So
right.
The joy of the apprenticeship, the joy of the plumbing world, and sometimes you get this crazy, on the internet, people are, you're doing it the wrong way, and I'll use dope and tape as an example because it's ridiculous. Whether you put dope on, they turned, like, literally people, said ridiculous things to me because that's how I've done it forever. And it makes, like, it's like making you put your peanut butter on the left side of the bread or the right side of the bread, and the jam, like, once you smash it together and eat it, it's all just one big congealed mess in your gut. It's no different when you're, doing your, tape or dope and tape or tape and dope, right? It doesn't make, like, people get hung up on that stuff. And the joy of plumbing is there's a million ways to skin those cats, a million ways to do a job. And my way is not always the right way. You guys are certainly, as you mature in the trade, you, Isaiah and Peter and Brooke, like, you'll be able to make those decisions of your own accord and make your own mistakes. The problem that I see with what's happening in the world is that there are a group of people that are deciding what's best for us as an entire group. And it just doesn't work that way. The mantra ought to be, you guys go live out the best lives you can. And as long as you're not violating codes, and as long as you're not putting people's, endangering lives, which I realize is a loaded statement given what we're talking about. Do whatever the hell you want. Support your family, look after those that are important to you, and move on. That's how plumbing works, right? You do this, as long as you stay within these guidelines, everything will be fine. We can debate the nuances and the ins and outs, the tiny details of why we do certain things a certain way. But for those groups of people to come down so heavy-handed and say, this is how this has got to work, is absolutely, in my view, absolutely wrong. And it's you guys that need to voice that and be brave enough to be those voices of, listen, this is ridiculous. Not only do we not agree with it, but we're not going to vote for you. And we're going to go to protests, and we're going to support the convoys, and we're going to, support our rights to make our own choices.
Yeah, I don't know how they can dismiss this one because it's so big. You know what I mean?
If they do what they say they're going to do, and not, they're saying they're not going to learn, they're not going to leave until, changes are made.
Something changes. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I've been talking like I usually do. Any other questions on that? Somebody's available for hire.
Yeah, I saw that. You have a job application in the comments.
You guys are, got to step up your game.
We'll
I
Well,
could replace
consider
you
your
guys.
application iTech Plumbing when me and Isaiah are hiring, when Dad retires.
I did go on a mission. I went to Columbus, Ohio. I was there from when was I there from? 89 to 91, before any of this existed. Anyway, anything else you guys want to chat about? Anything on your mind, Isaiah? No?
Nope.
You good?
Yeah.
Pete?
Yeah, just what I said earlier. I feel like it's time for people to stop being so quiet about it, because obviously the majority is very silent, and the minority of people who are for all this BS are very loud. And, you know, as we've seen in the last 2 years, the louder they are, the more we think that we're alone. And it's time for people to start. Everybody in this chat, all you 11 people, it's time for you to start speaking your mind.
They've been filtering in and out.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
How about you, Brooke?
No, I got nothing.
No, you were just doing this like you were stressed about something.
No, I'm just laughing at this dude in the comments. That's all.
You know, I'll say this. What's that?
Said my comments aren't loading. I can't see anything. Oh well.
So I'll say this, and then we'll wrap it up. It's been interesting to see, you know, we've been taught and told for it's certainly the last decade or more what the liberal ideology stands for. It stands for peace, it stands for love, it stands for inclusion, it stands for tolerance, it stands for, you know, safe spaces, and just everybody's welcome. One big tent. We just love everybody. And I think what this last 2 years has revealed that all of that stuff, certainly from my view, is BS. They don't believe that stuff. They believe, do what we say, do as you're told, get into line, don't make any noise, and we'll reward you with a pat on the head, like you're a pet, you know? Yeah, and a donut or a hamburger and fries. So I do hope that what's happening here in the last, we'll say, 4 or 5 months is sort of the curtain being pulled back on that agenda of this is what we are, this is what we say we are, but this is what we really are behind the scenes. It's a strong word, and it's certainly up for debate, but it's totalitarian. Do what I say or you'll be punished. And that has no place in civilized society as far as I'm concerned. So that's
do what I say and you'll get a $100 gift card.
Right?
That's a good idea.
Or even, and the problem is even the people that have done everything that they've said, lock and step with whatever the government has said, are, the basketball seasons are canceled. You still have to quarantine when you cross the borders. Like, it's insane what the level of involvement that the government thinks they have the right to do. So I realize that's a bit far from the plumbing world, but that's the world that we live in. Like I said at the beginning, we wanted this bar and banter to be just raw and real, what we think and what we do, and I hope it's.
I felt like it was pretty raw and real.
Yeah. I hopefully it wasn't too acidic for some of you out there. Anyway, last thoughts, Brooke, as she's looking at her phone. No, she's done. Pete.
Nope. I think I've said what I need to say.
Is that?
Yeah. No. Good. Just love to everybody, man.
Love to
Love
everybody.
everybody.
It's about time.
You got something? Go ahead.
No, it's about time that everyone just comes together. I mean, listen, the government and the politicians and the corporations can divide people all they want, but we're all one people. And you can't tell people what to do, no matter who you are.
No. True. Okay, Pete, give us something. Give us a goodbye in Tagalog.
In Tagalog? Okay. Ayan. Salamat sa pagsali nyo sa aming live ngayon at kita-kits tayo next week.
All right. So next week is going to be, you guys can strip it off if you want. Next week's going to be Hilco Sparky. We're going to talk about physical and mental well-being. He's an electrician out of Texas. And I think it'll be an excellent conversation. I've known him and conversed with him for probably 4 or 5 years now on Instagram. So anyway, good guy. Look forward to that chat. And that's it for, that wasn't bad, 45 minutes of
Barn banter.
Barn banter. All right. Everybody be safe. We're going to post this to our YouTube channel, Baker Plumbing on YouTube. You're welcome to like, subscribe, and follow.
For more content. Like and subscribe for more content. Subscribe to our Patreon page.
No, there's no Patreon.
There's no Patreon.
No, we're out.
All right, too bad.
All right. Talk to you later, boys. Thank you.
See you, dudes. How do I leave?